They're so individualized. There's so many different variances for individual nutrition. And all those keto people will be cheering right now. Unfortunately, if someone says that your metabolism is broken and they can fix it, please don't buy their shit. It is ideal to have a fast metabolism so that you can survive. If this individual has more muscle, they are going to be more active. Fitbit, MyFitnessPal, there's obviously various other things, macro factor, with food and everything. What we want to focus on can be very confusing. There's tons of mixed information, tons of people who go back and forth, debating each other. Can become very political, can become very confusing for the average person who's just trying to look for how to improve their own health. So if you're one of those people, I want to take a short period of time to try and give you a few basics to get you started. This isn't going to be a super in-depth conversation because that would take a long time. And plus, of course, like I said, this is going to be very generalized. That anyone could use this information for and not for very specifics. If you are like, hey, I need something really for me, individualized, I highly recommend speaking to a nutritionist, speaking to a dietitian, a nutrition coach who can actually help you specifically for your individual needs. Because nutrition, I'd say as a personal trainer and a nutritionist myself, I will openly say it is easier to develop a person's workout plan than it is to develop someone's nutrition plan, because they're so individualized. There's so many different variances for individual nutrition that you could go completely wrong or have the person going just not having very good direction for that individual. Of course, you have some general basic information that can definitely be helpful. So let's start with some facts or some knowledge base that needs to have understanding of, just to help you kind of move forward, especially as you potentially look to try and improve your own diet. So there's 3 major macronutrients. There's more than 3 macronutrients, but we're going to specify the 3 major ones. So you have protein, fats, and carbs. All 3 of them definitely important to understand. 2 of them are essential, meaning you couldn't live without them. Regardless of what someone may try to argue, it just by the studies, research, science, you literally can't live without them. Please do not try to live without them to prove any point, because it won't work. You won't last very long. So the 2 is your protein and your fats. Yeah, that really does mean you can live without carbs. And all those keto people will be cheering right now. I did not say that you should live without carbs. I just said that you could live without carbs. So it is possible. Just as I heard one person say before, life would be miserable. So the 2 essentials, I should say, is protein and fats. But the 3 are important ones. There's going to be your protein, your carbs, and your fats. With that, there's of course major details. We could go through each of them, but outside of that, you have your micronutrients, which is going to cover different vitamins and minerals that definitely contribute to a well-balanced diet and really help individually with people that you can think of. I'll just list a few. This is not an exhaustive list, but like magnesium, vitamin B, vitamin D, you're going to have vitamin C, iron, your various things like that. So those are your different knowledge-based information, and then of course you can go from there and kind of based off that. You have your calorie intake, or K-calories technically, as they would be technically speaking. We just use calories for short. So calories, that's the amount of energy that you use or that you consume. So think of calories as the energy that you're consuming. different pieces to the puzzle is understanding, okay, how many calories do I need? Well, that comes down to your metabolism. And everybody's metabolism is going to be different. You're going to have those people who have a slower metabolism, and then of course you have those people who are going to have a faster metabolism, natural. Can you change your metabolism? And the answer is yes, you can change your metabolism. Some people will discuss and say that your metabolism is broken and you just need it fixed. Unfortunately, if someone says that your metabolism is broken and they can fix it, please don't buy their shit. Okay? It's just literally what it is. It's bullcrap. Your metabolism is not broken. Yes, you could potentially speed it up. That is possible. It is not broken. You didn't break your metabolism. It's just potentially been decreased. Your body is built to adapt. Over years and years of us humans existing on this earth, and being like how we were designed and created is to have an adaptive body. So we've evolved over thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Some may argue millions of years. So with that, your body has adapted and evolved to survive. The whole point is to survive. So if we go back with, let's say, I'll actually use an example that I remember hearing from Sal DiStefano from Mind Pump. It actually was a study done on modern day hunter-gatherer tribe that they went in and they wanted to test their metabolism. Want to see what the difference was between theirs and the average American couch potato, or the sedentary individual in the U.S. So they went there. They were thinking it was going to be super fast, right? Because they stayed pretty lean. So they tracked it, and it was astounding what the information came back that theirs was very similar to a sedentary individual in the U.S. Reason for it is because their bodies, because they're again surviving off the land, what they hunted, what they grew, they needed to preserve energy until their next meal. So their body adapted their metabolism to where they didn't just burn themselves to death pretty much by burning all their fuel or eating up all the energy stored or used. So stored or like given to the body. So with that, the metabolism slowed down. So back in the day, it was more useful to have a slower metabolism because you didn't know when your next meal was. Food was scarce. Nowadays, we pretty much, for the most part, throughout the globe, we are for the most part taking care of food scarcity. And now we live where food is abundant, especially in developed countries. So with that, you have that now it is not a good idea to have a slow metabolism. It is ideal to have a fast metabolism so that you can survive. Unless you just want to totally ignore all these different foods and not enjoy food. Then okay, cool. But most people are going to want to enjoy an occasional sweets or occasional indulgence in something. So it is much better to have a faster metabolism. Problem. Our bodies, again, know how to adapt. So if you are living a life that is closer to being sedentary or not really as active, especially based on our ancestors and how active they were, even up through, we could argue, up through the 1970s and 80s, where there's more manual labor jobs, people being more active and being out and about, your body has adapted to this current time frame where we sit more. We're scrolling social media. We don't have to walk very far because we, again, our vehicles, everything that we have access to getting to destinations, to various things. We, again, are less active. We don't get out and do things. We have to plan activity nowadays. So for that matter, our metabolism has slowed down. With that allows the body to now have a slower metabolism and store body fat easier. And you're just in a situation where you are, as Dr. Gabrielle Lyons, a licensed dietitian, says, we are in a situation of under-muscled. So muscle improves your metabolism. And plus, of course, muscle has so many other significant benefits. This isn't a conversation on muscle, but metabolism could be improved by improving your muscle mass. Someone will argue, of course, that, oh, well, improving muscle, getting more muscle only increases blah, blah, blah amount of calorie expenditure. Yeah, cool. I can at least tell you, though, based on observation with clients, observation with myself, and from various different other trainers and research, that it just seems to be, yes, that may be the part of it, that muscle only increases a certain amount of expenditure for calories consumption. But the difference, I would say, is the fact that if this individual has, if this individual has more muscle, they are going to be more active. They are going to typically be able to handle more load capacity. They are also going to be more health conscious, probably, with other various different aspects of life. So with that being said, it is arguably more important to improve muscle mass for even better metabolism. So, with that being said, this isn't on exercise argument. This is the conversation on nutrition. So now we understand metabolism. Fast, slow. We have the macronutrients that we understand. Now, the importance is, how do you design your food intake? Well, you got to figure out where you are calorically. How many calories do you need to maintain? How many calories do you need to lose? And how many calories would you need to gain? Depending on what the goals, of course, are. Goals always should be in mind based on what you're trying to do. So let's just take Fred again. We got that Fred guy. We're going to start with tracking. So I'm sitting in front of Fred. He's saying, hey, help me with nutrition. I want all the help. Cool. Before we go anywhere, the first step, after, of course, goals, blah, 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 all the norms, right? The first step is to have him track his calories. There's so many different things you can use to track your calories. I personally, as a personal trainer, I use an app specifically that I use for my business. Other ways of doing it is you can use Fitbit, MyFitnessPal. There's obviously various other things, Macro Factor, various different things that you can use to track your calories. And I would have them start. And if they're like, I'm not using a phone, cool, no worries. Pen and paper. I would prefer, you could find tons of things on Google to get that situation handled so that you can track your calories. So first step, track the calories. Then ideally, I would have them start with tracking their calories and then tracking their protein intake. And from there, arrived at my destination. You can't even see my dang face. So this is going to be a two-parter. All right, later, y'all.